be dividing whole numbers by fractions and then creating a word problem that would pertain to that specific problem. So let's check out the first one that they have here. This first one, they have 5 wholes being divided into halves. Okay, so now this tape diagram is incomplete. So let me draw out what this would look like. So they labeled this as 5 wholes. And how we would show 5 wholes is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts gives us 5 wholes. Okay. Now, I'm sorry, they're cutting it into fourths. Okay, so now these 5 wholes are going to get cut into fourths. So each hole here, this is 1 hole, will get cut into 4 new parts. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and each one in here is 1/4. Okay, now if we take this 5 and we just divide it by 1/4, how many 1/4 like we do here did we create? Okay, now we created 4 pieces in this 1 hole, so that means that our next hole will also have 4 pieces, and so will our next one, and our next one, and our last one as well. Okay, now as you can tell here in this first hole, we end up having 4 total new pieces. And then what we're going to do is we're going to simply multiply it by all of the 5 holes that we have. Okay, the 5 holes. So when we do that, this will tell us exactly how many 1/4 we created. So 5 times 4 gives us 20, which means that 5 holes divided into fourths gives us 20 of these little pieces here. Okay, if it's still confusing, let's go ahead and do another one. But before we do that, it's asking to create a word problem for this. So what would be a real life example where you would use this? Well, we can say something like, Susie has 5 feet of rope. She cuts each foot into 4ths. How many 4ths does she have? 4ths does she have? Okay, let's go ahead and try another one. Let's see here. Okay, now in the second one, we have something different. We have 1/4 being divided into even smaller pieces. So check this out. Okay, let's do red. if this is 1/4, that means that right here is also 1/4. This is 1/4, and that is 1/4. So this total length here is your whole, okay? Now, if each fourth is getting cut into, let's see how many pieces we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we have 5. How much is this little piece worth is what they're asking. Well, this one is worth 1 out of, how many total would it be? Okay, so again, we have 5 here times the 4 that we're going to do here, which gives us 20. So that means that this little piece is worth 1 out of 20. So what we have, now let me back up here. What we have here is 1/4. Here's the 1/4. And it's being divided into these 5 pieces, which when you divide will give you 1 out of 20, like we saw here. And that 20 comes from having created 5 new pieces in each of these fourths. Okay, 5 plus 5, 10 plus 5, 15 plus another 5 is 20. Alright, and then you would create a word problem for that as well. Let's go through another one here. Alright, so this one says draw a tape diagram and create a word problem. Let's focus just on the tape diagram here. So here we have 2 wholes being divided into thirds. 2 wholes will be shown like this. My tape diagram with 2 holes. And what it's saying is that each of these holes is going to be divided into thirds. Okay? So this one hole will be divided into thirds. This hole will be divided into thirds as well. Okay? Now, how many of these thirds did I just create? 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. Well, let's count them up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So check it out. Really what you have here is 2 divided by 1/3, okay, which is really the same as saying if you have 2 times the amount in each hole, which is 3, is going to give us 6. Okay, so you created 6 new pieces when you cut them into thirds. And then a word problem that you could do for that is Michael has 2 candy bars. He wants to split each candy bar into thirds. How many thirds will he have in total? And you would find that he would have 6 total thirds. Okay, I hope that helps, and if you are still stuck on some of these, please come see me during office hours or send me an email. Thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.